Welcome back to Axis Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode 20. Now, if you remember from last episode, we find out Strohem has been cut in half by cars. Now, he's not dead, but he's been defeated. Because remember, he's Humpty Dumpty. We just have to put his pieces back together again, technically. But again, it was a funny scene, and I loved seeing it. Now, Strohem, before he was defeated, he manages to hit the Redstone of Asia from cars, and it's falling down the mountain. And eventually it does fall off the cliff, but while it's falling down the mountain, we see Cars and JoJo basically racing to get it back. And it's kind of a funny scene in my opinion, because they're not really fighting, they're just racing. It's like an all-out race to get the Redstone of Asia back. Now eventually we do see Cars and JoJo fall off the cliff to try to get the Redstone of Asia back. And eventually we do see Zeppeli save JoJo, which, JoJo saves the Redstone of Asia, and Cars basically falls to his doom, but since he's a Pillar Man, he is not dead. Just putting that out there. But again, the Redstone of Asia is not in Cars' hand, it's in JoJo's hand. I love that little ending, by the way. Loved it. Now we see Cars actually respecting JoJo because he was able to kind of defeat him in a funny way, I guess. Moving on past that toward the end of the episode, we're now in Switzerland. Now, I should point out Cars. They believe Cars is now hiding out in an abandoned hotel, which, believe it or not, is what the address was on the Redstone of Asia when they were, hunting it down on that train which stopped at the customs. Yeah, the Redstone of Asia was supposed to go to this abandoned hotel, so that's where they believe Cars is actually at. Now, they're kind of in the middle of this kind of thinking about, should we attack the hotel, or maybe it's booby trap, we really don't know. Now, Lisa, as well as everyone else, wants to go in, and they want to attack, Cars, which is in the abandoned hotel. However, JoJo says no. This is the first time from him that we've heard him step back and say, let's think things out. This is the new JoJo. He doesn't do things like that. And Zeppeli just frickin' goes apeshit and beats the crap out of JoJo and then says, you know what, you do your own thing. I'm going in head first. Now Lisa just basically says, Misan, go after him. If he goes inside, stop him. But again, that's where the episode ends. And I'll hold my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with Zeppeli. Now, again, we're being introduced to his past, so I thought that was a little information we definitely needed to know. I'm not going to go into detail about it. However, we do get to hear a little more about Zeppeli's father, or should I say Caesar's father, and his father's name is Mario. And apparently, through most of Zeppeli's childhood, his father wasn't around. He abandoned him. Now, we don't really know for what reasons until later on throughout this little flashback. We find out it's because of the Pillar Men. He was trying to, protect the world from the Pillar Men, so he had to give up his family in order to do that. And it was very, kind of ironic because apparently Zeppeli's father ends up being killed by the Pillar Men, like absorbed into the tapestry per se. And that was definitely something I needed to hear, needed to see. I'm like, okay, so this is, Caesar's past. This is Caesar's, I like saying his full name for the hell of it. Caesar Zeppeli. Who the hell names their kid that? Seriously. I'm just putting that out there. But anyways, this is Caesar's past. At least now we know how he became so family oriented, in the sense that he's so traditional, like, this is for my family, this is my heritage. I'm like, it makes sense. Now moving on past that, now we're taken out of the flashback in the present anime. Zeppeli is now in front of the abandoned hotel, but again, that's where we open up with. Moving on past that, we are taken to a different scene with JoJo and Lisa. Now apparently JoJo knows everything about Zeppeli's past now, about Zeppeli's heritage. However, Cars has killed Zeppeli's father. That's being pointed out. So JoJo is now with Zeppeli. He's like, you know what? I feel for you, Zeppeli. So now JoJo wants to join Zeppeli. However, Zeppeli is already at the abandoned hotel. So now it's a little game of catch up. So JoJo and Lisa are now heading toward the abandoned hotel just to side with Zeppeli now. But JoJo made a good point. What if Cars has a booby trap inside of the abandoned hotel? I mean, you're walking into Cars' backyard, literally. I mean, now that you have the Redstone of Asia, it makes more sense to let Cars come to you. I mean, the sun's almost down, so it kind of makes sense in my opinion. But I digress. Now we are taken to a different scene with Zeppeli. Now again, he is at the abandoned hotel, and he sees Cars, or it looks like a fragment of Cars. It's not Cars. Oops, did I spoil it? No, it's not Cars. However, moving on past that, we do see Misan appear, and Misan basically is like, what's going on? Like, do you see something? What do you see? I'm like, wait a minute. if that's or if that's some type of figment of my imagination, why is it in the daylight? It just doesn't make sense. And apparently we figure out it's Wham. Wait, isn't Wham a Pillar Man? And aren't the UAVs supposed to stop him from walking in the daylight? A lot of what WTF's like, what? So it's Wham? He's back from Greece already? I believe he was in Greece, and it's Wham. And it gets better. He actually takes Misan. Yeah, we see him rip off Misan's arm. Like, God, you see a pattern. I mean, first it was AC/DC doing that to logins, and now you see Wham doing this to Misan. God, I feel bad for Lisa's assistants. In fact, I wouldn't want to be Lisa's assistant right now because this sucks. So again, Wham takes Misan's arm and then takes Misan in general into the abandoned hotel. And you see a little blood trail. I'm like, I love how graphic it was. It was perfect. Man, and all I can say is, Misan, you are fucked. Plain and simple. Now you don't have an arm, and you're pretty much good as dead. So we're taken to a different scene. Now apparently Wham looks transparent, if that makes any sense. And I mean, what about the sunlight? Why is this Pillar Man oblivious to the sunlight? Why does he survive? And again, why is he transparent? A lot of questions there. So apparently Wham wants JoJo, because apparently now he knows what happened to AC/DC. I guess what he wants revenge. He's taking it pretty seriously, and I really can't explain why. I guess they were just that close over the centuries, so I guess it's kind of meaningful that, you know, dude, you killed my best friend or one of my friends or my master. I gotta kill you, plain and simple. Now, we are thrown with a little information about Wham. Apparently, he's shielding himself from the sunlight with something called the eddies of moisture air. That's what it's being referred to as in the subtitles, the eddies of moisture air. That's what's shielding him from the sunlight, kind of like a body of mist that's on him. Kind of interesting, like mist and air that's kind of protecting him from the sunlight. And we do see like these little things coming out of him which are producing the mist. So that was definitely worth mentioning. Now I should also point out it's kind of working right now. Like, it's blocking the sunlight, but that's only going to work for so long. You know, it can only work until you're going to get attacked. Once you get attacked too much, I don't see that really working. But sorry, at least that's my theory, my opinion. Moving on past that, we are taken to a different scene with both Zeppeli and Wham. That's right, we get to see Zeppeli versus Wham, and I love it. So Zeppeli uses his bubble cutter, and it's a direct hit, and I love it. It's a direct hit. He's not the same guy he was before. He was not the guy 1 month ago. This is a totally different Zeppeli. So we see Zeppeli fight Wham, and he uses, you know, bubble cutter, and I love it. Now, of course, the bubble cutters are now being used as gliding, so it's called a bubble cutter gliding. So it's getting better and better. These attacks are getting stronger. However, you know, it doesn't stop Wham from retreating. You know, because we do see Wham retreating, but it's not really working. You know, but it was worth watching, okay? I love it. It's Wham. Come on. I wasn't giving him enough credit for being strong, but now we see Zeppeli kicking his ass. I love it. Moving on past that, guess what? Wham stumbles backwards after Zeppeli manages to get a good blow in. And you know, you're supposed to fall head first when you get hit from behind. Wham, he falls backwards. So he stumbles backwards and attacks. I'm like, who does that? Pillarmen. They do that. Now again, they are in the hotel now, so now we're in Cars' backyard and Wham's backyard technically, so you know, there's no sunlight inside, so that kind of makes sense. And guess what? Zeppeli is now in the hotel, and he actually sees Misan. Misan is still alive, ironically. I don't know if that's really worth mentioning or not. He's like on a little slab, like a stone slab, kind of what you see in a hospital per se. I'm like, this was my funny theory. I thought Wham was inside of Misan's body. I thought it was going to be a great setup, but no, that's not what happened. So I'm like, it was a waste of a theory in my opinion. So we're taken to a different scene with Lisa and JoJo, and they notice Misan's arm is outside of the hotel, and they're just following the blood trail. But it was hilarious. I love seeing that. I know, I was laughing over them like, huh, you need a hand, buddy? I was waiting for it. Come on. So we're taking to a different scene with Zeppeli. He uses his ripple launcher and bubble cut, and it really, yeah, it's no good. Wham dodges, so it really doesn't do shit. Moving on past that, Wham, he falls. What? So Wham actually falls. I'm like, come on. And Zeppeli, he uses his bubble lenses. So bubble lenses? What are these bubble lenses? Another attack we don't know about. Apparently he's using his bubbles to reflect the sun which is outside, acting like a photo lens. I like it. It's creative. It's different. It's different. I like it. So moving on past that, we do find out Wham is now in stone form. So it worked. So Zeppeli, whatever Zeppeli was doing with his new bubble lenses, it's working. Because guess what? Wham is now in stone form and he's not doing shit. And we actually get to see Zeppeli about to attack, but guess what? As soon as he attacks Wham, he has his own shadow right over Wham, and just for a mere second, Wham is now in control, and he uses his wind mode. Yeah, his wind, I'll say it in a funny way, his wind mode of Holy Sandstorm. We've seen it already, so it's nothing new, and I don't like seeing it. It's weak in my opinion. And guess what? Zeppeli has been defeated. Cricket, cricket. Cricket, cricket. Yeah, he's been defeated. Hell of a fight and a shitty outcome. And he's been defeated, but he's not done. No, he's not done. Zeppeli isn't done. And he actually approaches Wham and takes the ring, the one that, you know, JoJo needs, the antidote that's inside. He takes it from Wham just before he's about to die. And Wham says, "You're about to die, dude. Just give up. I mean, all your blood vessels are broken, all this, you know, you're bleeding to death. You're done." And eventually, you know, Zeppeli, he seals the ring on his scarf in what appears to be like a little bubble and sends it on its way to JoJo. And then he dies. He literally just dies. He falls down, and it's all up to you, JoJo. The Zeppeli line has ended. Now, I don't know if Zeppeli himself, Caesar, has kids or not, or if there's anything else. I hope we see more Zeppelis in the future. I doubt it probably, but, you know, just putting that out there. But he's gone. And to make it worse, and this is what had me like, oh my god type of scenes. Oh my god scenes. The roof literally came down on top of Zeppeli and crushes him to death. So not only do we know he's dead, now there's a blood trail of him being squashed. I'm like, yeah, but no, it's kind of ironic. Wham respects Zeppeli more than anything, because at one point in time, Zeppeli had the upper hand. He could have killed Wham. And because of that, Wham actually says, "Zeppeli, if it wasn't for me, you definitely could have killed Cars." I'm like, what? Wow, you're really giving props. And he actually, believe this or not, Wham lets Zeppeli make the bubble with the ring and gives it to JoJo type of thing. He doesn't do anything to affect that. Kind of like he's letting this one go. So Wham's letting this one go and letting Zeppeli give JoJo, you know, his ring, or, you know, the ring with the antidote that JoJo needs. He doesn't take it back or go after it. So I thought that was definitely worth mentioning. But sorry, I digress. Now we are taking to a different scene with JoJo and Lisa, and we actually see JoJo receive Zeppeli's gift, which, you know, is in that little bubble, and it's a ring on the scarf, which is, you know, the antidote that JoJo actually needs, so, you know, his heart is no longer going to explode or get poisoned per se. So I guess that means he doesn't really have to fight Wham now that he has the antidote, technically. Just put that out there. But again, it is kind of sad. Zeppeli dead. JoJo is not convinced. He's like, okay, Zeppeli, where you at, man? Stop playing around. Gotta find your body, man. Where you at? It just hasn't dawned on him that Zeppeli is dead. He is dead. JoJo, he's dead. Lisa is trying to keep her composure. She has her cigarette on backwards. Yeah, no. She cries. Lisa breaks down. She cries. And guess what? JoJo breaks down as well, and that's where the episode ends. As for my final thoughts, okay, Wham, what are you going to do? You still don't have the Redstone of Asia. Where the fuck are you going? And Cars, where are you at? How come we didn't get to see you? I'm curious. Now, after seeing what Wham was able to do with, yeah, the air and the moisture, that interesting technique he uses to defeat the sunlight and go outside, I'm wondering if Cars has anything like that. Probably not. Now, I assumed that Cars was referred to as the smarter of the Pillar Men, the smartest one, and being the creator of, you know, the stone masks. I thought maybe he'd be stronger than, you know, Wham, but right now Wham has the floor. Although, remember, Zeppeli technically defeated Wham. Just that small little flaw with, you know, his shadow while he was doing his special technique is the only thing that screwed it up. But sorry, I digress. But moving on past that, I got one more final thought. What's gonna happen with Strohem? I have to bring it up. Is Humpty Dumpty gonna be put back together again? We don't really know. We really don't know. I mean, come on. He's come back once. What's gonna stop him from coming back a second time? But again, that ends it for my final thoughts. Nothing special. I'm sorry. I just digressed a lot during that final thought because it was an emotional episode. As per my final rating, 5 out of fucking 5. I know I really wasn't that enthusiastic with my walkthrough and review. I was really caught up in the moment. Could not put it into words what I was experiencing too much. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 because the fight scenes were there. The blood, the gore, it was there, and we saw a main character get killed, but in a respectful way, and I love it. Are you serious? I love the fight. I loved it. Yes, there was a little drama toward the end because we see Lisa crying and JoJo losing it, but come on, we saw Misan. He was defeated. He's missing an arm. Now, we don't know if Misan's dead or not. There's no closure. I think he's alive, just now armless. As for Stroheim, yeah, Stroheim appears to be alive, just defeated. I mean, he's a cyborg. He can be put back together again. Now, Zeppeli, it looks like he's out for the count. I would say so. That roof collapsing kind of made a big statement there. But again, final rating, 5 out of 5. Plain and simple. But again, guys, that ends it for my walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode 20. But definitely comment down below. Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and follow me if you like. But let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's gonna happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now. And I gotta hit the bricks, and I gotta go. And before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it. You can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.